Do you ever, to this day, sometimes get lost in thoughts of the past and remember that little girl who was picked on? And does it cause you to be emotional, or have you kind of?
My husband and I tried to watch that Bo Burnham movie, 8th Grade. I got about 20 minutes into it and just like fell into like ancient heaving sobs that I don't think I could act.
Wow.
Because they were so deep, and to get on with your life, you do a lot of things to sort of save yourself. And I'm still to this day trying to get over the coping mechanisms that I used. So, we stopped that movie. I don't know if I'll ever be able to finish it, but I kind of know it's the greatest movie ever made because it.
Do you remember names? Do you remember certain girls or boys? You could riff them off, just rip, because I could do that too. Because I was picked on a little bit too, and I was the shortest kid in my high school, and but I could remember names.
I can remember names.
I could say names right now. I'm not going to say them because they're so specific.
It's very specific.
It's like if I said Raleigh Johnson. It's names, but I mean, he didn't pick on me though.
But I also it was also, like I said, it was a mob. It was everyone. Man. And so there's that, but there's also just this kind of like cloud of energy in a way that I remember more than anything. Because it was, it was a smaller school. And so everybody kind of got on the same page. I remember my mom saying something. She was like, oh, I was always so proud of you. You always made friends with the new girl. And I was like, oh, that's because you don't know that she was the only person who would talk to me because she didn't know yet. And about 2 weeks after that, she would no longer.
I remember that happened when I was a sophomore, and there was a couple of freshmen that came in, and I knew these guys were going to be popular. Yeah. They were like good looking guys, and they were like, athletes. And I remember becoming sort of friends with them and hanging out with them. I remember it was for like a couple of weeks until they caught on that I'm not popular. I'm not what you thought. It's, and it was like
crazy how much that matters when you're that age.
Did things change when you went to high school?
So yes, my coping mechanism at first was just to shut up. I just stopped talking. I just was the invisible person that they would have preferred me to be. I spoke in class and I spoke at home, but I just didn't try to be social with anyone any longer. And then honestly, I started doing the plays, and that was the only place that I talked.
How did you get I guess since you loved dancing in the hallways and all that,
I had always loved theater and things like that. So I was like, all right, let's give this a shot. I had always danced and did some singing and things like that. So I did that. I did a couple of plays, and something in there around 8th grade, I did Guys and Dolls Junior. And I remember like walking into the cafeteria and seeing the like place that I normally went and sat alone, and then seeing the place where all the kids that I had done the show with were sitting. And I remember like very distinctly taking that deep breath and deciding to go sit with them. And that kind of shifted things. And it took me years and years, and probably I'm still not done figuring out how to just like let myself be me.
Right.
Because that still feels like such a dangerous thing to do, since that's what got me, humiliated so often.
I know how you feel. Yeah. I really know what it's like to, I've talked about it, about becoming an actor because of that. Like I've said it. How many times have I said, so I didn't have to be me?
Yeah.
And then I got lost somewhere along the way between who I really was and who I thought I was.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you get older and you realize, I don't know exactly who I am.